stage that doesn't have a ton of competitive experience right now, are very new to this type of spotlight. And Alex, formerly J-Team's jungler, now on AHQ, very established, very smart, more of a pathing-oriented jungler, and what he does with information and where he attacks with AHQ, I've been very impressed by.
Yeah, and he was actually able to dismantle J-Team in the final game at the beginning few. Of course, J-Team being able to come out ahead towards the end of that one, but we'll see what AHQ can do up against theoretically the most difficult opponents here at a World Championship, our former World Champions in IG. And here is Champion Select. On our blue side will be Invictus Gaming to start this one off, as AHQ will be wearing the red shorts, as finally we see a Kayle ban.
And it feels like the meta is going to be Kayle. We saw glimpses of her in the play-ins, and she has really crashed into the group stage right now with back-to-back games and now being banned here. This might be the staple pick.
Yeah, and also Kayle being banned away on Invictus Gaming's side. Not wanting to first pick that, as it was the Shy, of course, that was so notorious for slaughtering his way through European solo queue on this champion. A different idea when it comes to that first pick, as Qiyana and the Pantheon are the AHQ bans. I'd expect something like a Syndra to come through here, as the Renekton and the J4 were opted into on IG's side.
Yeah, banning Jarvan, second most played champion for Alex, definitely going to be a big one. I have really liked his Olaf though, and we were talking about, hey, if you're going to try and get it done versus Invictus Gaming, try and throw some early game champions in there. Olaf has been comboed with Karma most frequently because you need that speed up later. The Ardent Sensor does a lot of work to really turn that into a whole composition. And it is going to be even the nerfed Gragas that is first picked for Invictus Gaming.
Yep, the 9.16 monster in the Gragas. Of course, it wasn't nerfed too much, just more about his sustain, his clear speed a little bit down, as that's Jackie Love's Draven. I am getting some pretty awful feelings, honestly, as an LCK fan after watching what Jackie Love did to SKT only recently, is what it feels like. It's really hard.
But before he locks it in, we do need a reminder that Gragas might not necessarily go into the jungle position. Valiant can also play the Gragas himself, and it looks like it might not be Jackie Love's Draven, but it could be Rookie or the Shy's Jace, just as prominent a champion for these two incredible solo laners.
And my fingers are crossed for the Shy Jace, because anytime you want to see the Shy absolutely style in a game, absolutely take control from the top lane, Jace is one of those champions that comes to the forefront of your mind, mining those turrets, getting so much pressure for the team.
Well, the Ezreal has been locked in, and I'm actually on the other side of this one. I actually think Rookie's Jace is extraordinarily oppressive in the mid lane. He lets no one have fun when he's piloting that champion, but I guess you can't really go past the Shy when it comes to control, as the Akali locked in for Rainbow or Ziv.
And I would like to point out that a lot of the top and mid laners that I've been watching in solo queue have started putting in time on Ezreal's solo lane.
Yeah.
So we should keep the door open here for either to be...
You said the door, and it's AHQ, and there's no West door anymore,
no!
Kirby.
0204, no West door.
Oh, too soon.
It is way too soon.
Out of the 3 picks that Invictus Gaming have shown us, however, it's a pretty clear poke-oriented composition and has a really strong spike during the mid-game. And that's not just between the Jace and the Ezreal. If this is a more AP-oriented Gragas, if you just think about dunking a cask in there from the 3-point line and then you just layer on like a shock blast, you will annihilate teams if you snowball hard enough.
And I'm an LCK commentator. I need to mention Yasuo at this point in time. If we see a Gragas, we want Yasuo bans, and Rookie can play it. Rookie's had one of the most famous plays of all time with a Yasuo in it, and IG could certainly flex it around this rift as well. Certainly a lot of options here.
I really want to go off Frost's point here about the poke composition showing so early for Invictus Gaming, because the immediate reaction whenever you see that is, of course, hard engage.
Yep.
You need to have hard engage. You need to be able to flank this team and get that done. So immediately the Nautilus pick there for AHQ, like that one, because it is the point and click ensuring that you're going to get a fight.
Well, the Alistair locked in response to the Nautilus that AHQ just locked away. The Gangplank now being considered for the Shy and is locked in. A lot of physical damage, but I think that means Leon is going to be doing so much on this Gragas, because no one wants to build magic resist. He might be doing true damage to people on this pick.
And it's also the fact that he has mixed damage solo laners now with him bringing the AP jungler and then the Gangplank and the Jace in between him. So the ability to look for the 2v2 there, it's going to be really hard for AHQ in the early game to itemize against that effectively, especially if he is that more damage-oriented Gragas that you're talking about. So right now, this looks pretty clear-cut that this is mid lane, bouncing to top lane between Jace and GP for this Gragas.
Well, that is going to be the Gnar locked in. Certainly a lot of comfort here for Ziv. Gnar versus Gangplank, something we've been seeing throughout the play-in stage and has been something used to try and weather that storm. But you've seen Gangplanks actually be pretty comfortable in the Gnar matchup, despite it historically being relatively good for the Gnar. Gangplank's just, it feels like people struggle to lock him down.
Yeah, Ziv is a legacy Gnar player.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact, Ziv has more games on Gnar than the rest of the LMS combined.
That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And now going to be playing it again, but up into the Shy. Still going to be a very tough ask. We'll see whether he can utilize that range advantage to get things done. As we look down on these compositions, I'm actually just straight up terrified for AHQ because of the amount of aggressive options IG have. Feels like they can just poke, 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 and then when they want to go in, they can just go in at any point.
I mean, to be fair, AHQ also have an incredible composition, again, kind of at level 6 with all of these key ultimates, and then on the first buy for their itemization. Kaisa, particularly for level, or for itemization number 2, but I feel like, again, mid-game focus comps.
Well, let's see how it goes as we get into Game 3 of the day. Invictus Gaming versus AHQ.
Okay. So the more that I look at it, Invictus Gaming's composition, the more I am getting scared.
What about the player name tags?
No, turn those off. We're scared enough, okay, Kobe?
Because the one thing that we really haven't talked about is Balan's Alistar. Balan is a phenomenal Alistar player, like most of the LPL supports are. When they get this hard engaged champion, he's also playing Cowboy Alistar, so man after my own heart. And the potential level 6 with GP ultimate and setup between Gragas Alistar on a bot lane play is really terrifying, and one of the LPL's kind of bread and butter plays from their playbook. So I'm just going to set that one out there early. We're going to track if that happens.
I'm going to take your theoretical situation of the bot lane dive with the Gangplank ultimate and add onto it a rookie Jace who has just pushed up the lane because he's against an Akali and is running an Ignite Jace down to the bottom lane. That is going to be very painful indeed.
Yeah, can also get behind into that Tri-Brush and just throw out empowered Shock Blasts, and then potential dives are going to be pretty aplenty here for this IG roster in theory. AHQ certainly do have some tools, and we're looking at MVP Alex on our screen right now, and also figuratively looking towards finding advantages in this game, because his pathing was very impressive in their series that they qualified in.
Yeah, I feel like if anything happens for AHQ, it will start with this guy in the jungle. Now, thinking about AHQ as an organization, they've only missed Worlds once since 2014, and that was just the last year when the LMS collectively went 3-15 with Flash Wolves, G-Rex, and Mad as the representatives. So, unfortunately, while we want to talk about kind of the rebuild of AHQ, their rebirth onto the international stage, it feels like all of the LMS teams are standing in the shadow of the failures that the LMS made last year at Worlds. So, expectations are very mixed for this squad. No one really knows where their ceiling is, but I assure you, Alex is a good player.
Yeah, and Ziv, he's done this before. He's been playing on this team, I believe, since 2014.
He's been around the block for a very long time, and I know the LPL organizations have been trying to get Ziv for quite a while.
Yep.
And we talked a lot last game, about the Rage Bar and managing that. It does become extremely difficult in this setup as well, because you also have to get a flank on this team to be able to find that engagement. But HQ and Ziv have played this champion so often, they're very accustomed to playing around it.
Well, Rookie does have that shove that you were talking about. Hits level 3 before Rainbow, of course, but an Akali underneath the turret is something you'd expect in a ranged versus melee matchup. And in fact, anyone under their turret versus Rookie in the early game seems to be what you would expect just in general.
And this is very micro, but watch what happens when there is a cannon, although I'll hold it. No, Alex isn't going to gank him. When Rookie is playing across from a cannon minion on Rainbow's wave, he'll actually step up and he'll try to make the cannon creep deny as much CS as possible from Rainbow. So anytime you see those cannons come in, watch how these mid laners suddenly go hyper aggressive to try to get that cannon to deny everything.
Rookie is sneaking every bit of damage in here onto Rainbow, and he's just having the worst time ever. You can see Rookie just flirting with that turret, willing it to try and shoot him, as every lane for IG is shoved apart from the bottom side, who just decided to leave for a little while.
And a big part of that positioning for Rookie is also with Ignite in the mid lane on Jace and that double stacked minion wave. He knows that he can fight off 1v2 even if he gets ganked by Lee Sin at that moment. It's a half health Akali under turret. They would not be able to force much out of him and they would have to be worried about the turnaround. So he pushes it all the way in. On Jace, you're trying to get that recall off. It's going to take Akali a long time to push on a cannon minion wave. And you'll see Jace always wanted to go on that cannon minion wave because the cannon minion takes so much longer for the Akali to kill, plus for your turret to kill, so he doesn't lose very much CS there. And it's only going to be the one melee minion, and he's coming back with a double longsword.
I mean, the short and sweet of it is wave management, and it's one of the intangibles that's really hard to measure if you're not super intimate with the game about what makes these mid laners so legendary, and you saw Rookie just do it to perfection right there.
Yep. Getting that cheetah recall at exactly the right time, like you guys were illustrating. But gets back here. Rainbow's going to be able to teleport if he wants to, but doesn't actually have to. But gets back into a lane where he has quite a large deficit. Levels are even between the Akali and the Jace. Level 6 still being searched for Rainbow, as Leanne's found his way towards the bottom side of the map, and a flash body slam could be terrifying when paired with the headbutt pole.
I think, again, it was more so trying to cover for his laners. The wave was amassing on Invictus Gaming side, so it was going to push back. So Leanne's there to protect Jackie Love and Battleland while they push the wave forward.
Rookie trying to sneak in as much damage as he can, but Rainbow actually utilizing the Shroud very nicely to get a good trade. Now Alex will turn up. Very even in health bars. Jungle is not going to decide to pull the trigger.
I just want to highlight Rookie there. You can see him. He always hovers to the side where his jungler is. Leanne is on the bottom half, so even though there was a pass from Alex on the Lee Sin and a possible look at a gank, it's completely avoided there. He goes in, popping the Scryer's Broom. They'll know that he's gone for the possible invade.
So far, a very quiet early game. We'll see if Alex changes that up with the second pass.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not going to throw the Q out, just safeguards back. We'll get back towards his jungle.
But it feels like all three of our games this opening, outside of that one level 1 play by Fnatic versus SKT, it have been very controlled early games that kind of wait until level 6, wait until the teleport timings are there, and then all of the action happens. So if we go back to that level 6 play that we're talking about, GP now has his ultimate available to him, and I think we're getting closer to that window where Invictus Gaming are preparing to pull the trigger on a play.
Feels very cookie cutter here from IG, though. It's not anything fancy in the composition. We've seen all of these picks before, so we have an idea of when they want to be fighting, and I feel like this is sort of your quintessential poke comp in the mid game, that you can get people low, you can force resets, and then you can go for Barons utilizing it. And it's our first game so far without a Kayle, so we don't have that, oh, well, there's an inevitability, we know who's going to win in the late game. This is a little bit more up in the air with who's going to have that power based on what the positions of these teams are when we move into that mid and late game.
Trying to build up and get to their offensive poke that we were talking about in Champion Selects. Lethality already picked up here for Rookie on Jace, so the Empowered Shock Blast will leave a mark for sure. You can see already Rainbow trying to answer that, anticipating, building the arm guard for himself, trying to get some more armor to deal with the onslaught of damage that is being put out by Rookie in this mid lane, and really the point of control for IG.
And I think the question is hold it.
Oh,
Yep,
they got him.
Trouble first blood. It's just Jackie too far up and destroyed.
Yeah, even caught the observers off guard right there. So Jackie Love wasn't the only one kind of head scratching after that. But like you're saying, his support walks away from him and immediately AHQ strike.
Well, in goes Leanne. He's got the Predator. But Rainbow's safely underneath his turret, and Alex was even in the area to try and get that counter gang.
That is exactly where AHQ want that money too. I mean, Waco has been the one to deal most damage for this team. He shoulders that burden. He has also had the highest kills plus assists pre-15, so no deviation here. They're able to get it, and they didn't even have to flash for it with Nautilus. Invade for Alex, not going to deny the blue buff to Rookie. What you're looking for there is trying to force the enemy jungler to smite it away, so hopefully the Jace doesn't have infinite mana, but now it is still going to go in the right place for Invictus Gaming. Jackie Love punished for the aggressive arcane shift, and what a hook!
Well, there's the kick flash, and Rookie gets tagged up, tries to get the kick back, but just waits for his time, and Alex will help secure it for Rainbow.
Yeah, this is now in the mid and bot lane that AHQ are the first ones to strike, so now they can start leveraging some of this control. They also have the TP, and now it's top side.
Doesn't find the wallop, but the Shy does take a turret shot, moves out of the way of the boulder toss, as well as the Shy pretty comfortably avoids a lot of the damage of this Meganar.
And you can already see what a different team this Invictus Gaming is. The fact that AHQ slam them bottom, mid, and also get the best of them in the top lane that opens up this Mountain Dragon was just not something you would say of the Invictus Gaming of past, but excellent work from AHQ in the first 9 minutes of this game.
Exactly. I mean, with the first Akali ultimate, they're able to get the kill on the Rookie. 3 members converge. They get the objective afterwards. Waco and Ysera punishing the offensive arcane shift from Jackie Love immediately. AHQ definitely starting out on fire here.
Yeah, it's nicely done stuff. And as well, this is Waco picking up the more AD-focused Kai'Sa build. We haven't seen too much of this. It's all been about the 3-item power spike, but this one is going to have that evolution on the Q much earlier. And in fact, I believe completed already, even though he's just level 7. So as you can see down to the bottom of your screen, very, very close to getting that evolution. See where AHQ are going to go from here, because they have a slight lead, almost towards 1,000 gold. If you are the world champions, you're not going to get too worried just yet. Their composition just in general will get stronger before it gets weaker.
I think there's an issue where Alex had to extend his flash to secure the kill on Rookie, which should slow him down. I want to see how capable he is to create a play like that without having access to the flash, which is why I'm glad to see him team up with Ysera there. Because now if you have a Lee Sin and a Nautilus running into the mid lane and looking for potential kills, that means that Alex isn't punished for not having that flash as kind of the only playmaker outside of the Nautilus for this team.
Well, speaking of the Nautilus, he's in this mid lane, waiting for an opportunity. Alex has started off the Rift Herald as Leanne is going to move on over. Troll Ward's going to be shared here as Alex decides that he doesn't want to stay in this pit. Shelly's being held onto for a little while, but Leanne does move himself out of the way. So Shelly's going to reset. IG just denying that one from happening.
Yeah, I mean, they have to back off here because there is a teleport discrepancy in the bottom lane. Jackie Love is answering right now, but it is AHQ that have the extra teleport here, so they cannot take that fight. Kai'Sa teleports up, and it will be a numbers disadvantage.
What we're jockeying for here is the priority in the mid lane and the numbers discrepancy that Kobe just highlighted. And so AHQ did a wonderful job being patient, always going back to the lane, shoving it back against Invictus Gaming before moving first into the river to secure this. So cleanly played, and it feels like they've choked Invictus Gaming out of this area to take not just the Mountain Drake and early kills, but now also the Rift Herald on top of it.
Really impressive stuff here. Alex comfortably picks that one up, and Leanne's just back in his jungle. They gave that one up. They had the Cannon Barrage available. They could have decided to utilize something, but they're holding onto these cooldowns so that IG can get something more as this game goes on. They still have a lot of, solo lane power in this Jace, in this Gangplank. You can see the Shy still with a slight advantage over the Gnar, but feels like AHQ have hit their stride far earlier in this game, and they have a lot of tools as they move towards the late game as well. It's not like this is an AHQ that has to have these advantages moving into a mid and late game. This is pretty comfortable for them.
Yeah, and even though the Shy is banking up there on Gangplank, Ziv, a veteran Gnar player, once again, starts with the Cole. It's about to pop here. 15 more CS for him, and he'll be able to get a cash-in as well. See how well they can actually use it to find those teleports, those flanks that we were talking about to get the engagements. Because right now, HQ are set up actually very well for the arrival of this Infernal Drake. minute and a half left into the future, and they have all summoners, all ultimates ready.
And they also have the Rift Herald. And my question is, where are AHQ actually going to use it on the field? Are they going to use it for a plate gank, or are they going to use it to get control over this Infernal that will be spawning, to force Invictus Gaming to respond?
Oh, there's a flash dredge line. Leanne is going to get depth charged as well. Will flash out of the way. Rookie now finds himself on the wrong side of the rift as the cannon barrage used defensively to stop AHQ from pressing further forward.
A lot of cooldowns used here. Rookie's flash, Leon's flash there, disengaging for Invictus Gaming. You could see how much HQ wanted that, though. Ysera all in to try and force that fight before the arrival of the Infernal Drake. And we get Gangplank ultimate down, not going to be available for Infernal Drake fight. It is traded for the Akali ultimate there, though, as Rainbow tried to get that kill on the Rookie, and they get the plate money.
Yep. Shelly's going to get in there, and 30 seconds left until those plates are down, so Shelly going to be taking some money away from IG as well. Wako on the bottom side will catch this wave. There has been a plate that's gone down in favor of IG in this lane, but otherwise it's pretty good for the Kai'Sa.
Feels so perfectly timed, as Kobe's talking about, the fact that all of those key cooldowns are now offline for Invictus Gaming for this Infernal. The fact that you've just got the plate gank off, so Akali's going to go back. Well, she was doing her back, decided to cancel, but Akali could have gone back, gotten an extra buy. Everyone kind of refreshed their itemization, hit their stride right as we go into Infernal spawn for 5 seconds.
Yep, and Stormrazor is now completed for Wako, has himself the extra pickaxe as well, so still building towards that Rage Blade that you'll always pick up as your second item. A lot of extra damage now available for this Kai'Sa as Alex is going to turn up for this Infernal Drake. First Infernal, I believe, for the World's Group Stage 2019. And it is hotly contested, IG with positioning around this one and has been started up.
So Rainbow was delayed. He now just made it his back. He does have teleport, is going to use it to force the fight.
Yeah, but this dragon is still very, very low. It is taken by Leanne, but is there going to be a fight? Looks like the answer is no, as IG. They just book it out of there. Free dragon, easy peasy.
Invictus Gaming used the window correctly, but I feel like that was very greedy by Rainbow to try to stay in lane as long as possible to pull the Gunblade out. He was delayed on the TP, it was a numbers disadvantage for AHQ, and all of the perfect setup that they had done for that Infernal flew out the window when they didn't have their Akali ready exactly when she needed to be.
Yeah, I know that feeling, though. You're like, oh, it's so close to Gunblade. If I have this completion, like, Akali is so much stronger once you get it, but you're not there in time. Invictus Gaming bully out, they get the Infernal Drake, and that is a huge win for them, considering how much the damage scaling is going to matter for all of these DPS champions.
And also so important because they didn't have Cannon Barrage. They didn't have the Flash Body Slam available from Leanne, and they didn't have Rookie's Flash either. There was so much that said this was the perfect time for AHQ to fight, and without their Akali there, they couldn't do it. So pretty impressive that IG did understand that they had the timing to go for the Infernal Drake, even though they were missing so many tools.
And when there's not dragons or Rift Heralds to fight over, I actually think that that feels good for Invictus Gaming, not necessarily because of this composition, but because of their identity as a team. This is a team that when they are finding success in the LPL, it is still through their 5v5 and their strength in extended lane phases, which 16 minutes in, we're still sitting in all of our lanes, we're still accumulating farm leads over our opponents. Small, but it's there.
Well, Ziv gonna get slowed down as Leanne's trying to get in. Cannon Barrage to stop his escape. The flash gonna be used early. Does he have the hop available? And Leanne not even gonna take the chance on the body slam flash, going to be missed. Didn't even have the flash available for that one.
Yeah, he really wanted to get in there with Predator and finish him off. You can see he's got the Sork boots, full AP build, but not gonna be able to go that deep under the turret. Ziv gets away just by burning the flash.
Well, Jackie Love now relegated to his inner turret, as you can see. Ward going to get cleared out as the control ward comes in for Jackie, but he understands that AHQ have complete control of this area, and he will give that one up. The Ezreal wasting a bit of time roaming around the map right now.
Yeah, really well done, a pressure play from AHQ, but that means top lane Invictus Gaming are looking to trade.
Oh no, the wallop goes completely wide as the Shy gets out of the turret aggro. Empowered Shock Blast is going to land, but it looks like Ziv is able to buy a little bit of time. The cask actually buys him more space. The flash has to be invested, and the Shy does eventually grab that kill as now Balan. He was looking for it, but Rainbow outplays. That shuriken backflip timing was brilliant there to answer the headbutt.
I mean, you heard it from the crowd right there. Disaster for Invictus Gaming. They try to make the trade. evade, but fumbles mechanically across the board. The Shy forced to flash to secure the kill, mean the AHQ take the advantage by pushing through 2 structures on the bottom side of the map.
And that's only more gold going into Wako's hands as well. And Kobe, you were talking about this earlier. They play around this guy. He's now on Kai'Sa, and he has so much extra global gold and just farm money that has been uncontested on the bottom side of the map.
So the next big goal for AHQ is gonna be the vision control to set up that fight. Here's another look at the tower dive though. As Shy started tanking early, then Rookie starts tanking, allowing a little bit more damage under the turret. Lan using the Gragas ultimate. Slight miscalculation. There was maybe 20 HP left on that Gnar, which pushes him forward and then does force the flash from the Shy.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of placement towards the right would have meant that he got that mini stun into the wall instead of pushing him to almost safety. But look, you can nitpick all you want, and hindsight is 20/20. So they still do manage to pick up that kill, and the gold is 100 the difference, as the Shy still going to be moving towards Ziv here, despite Mega Gnar being available. Now IG getting themselves together, and this is what this comp can do. You can move Rookie and Jackie around together and get this poke happening. As you can see, Ysera still uncomfortable under this turret. There's hands there to try and get a potential dive.
Basically, Frost was talking about earlier too, is they also have the dive tool. So you poke them down with the Jace and the Ezreal. Once they are softened up into those low health bars, then you're looking at Alistar and Gragas to go in for the dives to finish them off. Alex gets caught at the blue.
Yeah, speaking of going in, the headbutt pulve is going to be there. Alex, he tries to safeguard out, but there's nothing safe about his positioning right here. Blue buff is taken, I believe, by a cannon barrage across the map by the Shy.
Let's check in with Gangplank.
Can we please have a
More at 11. That said, it's
There
still a cross-map trade. It's the fact that Rainbow is able to pick up the top tower, whereas the mid tower still stands. So Invictus Gaming do feel like the entirety of this mid game, they've been playing behind the ball, that it's AHQ who have control, they're setting the pace on the map, they're dictating how Invictus Gaming are responding to them, and IG have yet to kind of team up and really force HQ.
Well, Wako actually going to throw out the ultimate there, misses the Void Seeker onto Jackie Love, and that's going to mean he survives as now Lan's looking for it. Ysera going to try and trade his life as in goes Rainbow. He's diving, but the CC is too much. Underneath the turret, he does eventually get there with the perfect execution, and it looks like he's able to get out as Lan is going to flash forward. The body slam says no, as Rainbow is put in the death chamber, but a 1-for-1 feels pretty good. Ysera flashing over the wall to get himself to safety, as it's a messy fight, but the Shy is able to take down the Nautilus. Now, the poke should be able to get some work done, but Wako safely underneath his outer turret, and this is getting messy on IG's side.
Yeah, and with that extra shock blast landing and the health bars too low for HQ, it will be the Ocean Dragon for Invictus Gaming to pick up.
Jackie Love, aggressive E forward, and Wako's like, you testing your luck, friend? Eats the full Q from the Kai'Sa, and then is now playing from the back foot.
Well, we're on the Baron. For AHQ, they've decided that they don't want the Drakes this time around. It was an Ocean as well. They do eventually peel off, but that was a cool way to come back into the game after replay.
Yeah, testing your limits there. See if Baron's up for it. Looks like not there, as Invictus Gaming got a full reset, so you definitely don't want to take your chances there. And they punish, actually, with that wasted time starting up Baron. Means Invictus Gaming get the mid turret down, which opens up so much of the invade territory.
I want to say medium risk, high reward. Losing the tower doesn't feel great, but if it's not warded, and they do get the Baron, which Kai'Sa melts that Baron pretty fast, especially now having 2 items. She's very powerful. I'd say it would be worth if they got it.
Yeah, I like it. I always like going for just the testing the limits, the limit testing plays.
It's testing wards. Do you have this warded?
Yep. Can you see me? The answer was yes, so IG do manage to pick up that outer turret. Once again, Jackie Love dives in. This time, avoids the dredge line. But I feel like he's doing that too much, guys. It's making me nervous. Arcane Shift was nerfed, guys. It's got a really long cooldown now.
Jackie Love has definitely been punished several times already this game for that. We'll see if they can now group up, though, because we keep on talking up this poke here. And we've got Rookie with his 3 lethality items stacked up. So again, this is where they really want to make use of this composition between 20 and 25 minutes. Group up, try and get a lot of that poke to land. And you can see it definitely will have an effect on all of these champions. Very big, again, that Invictus Gaming got that Ocean Drake after the mid-fight, because denying that regeneration from AHQ means that this poke is going to stick.
And just as Kobe was talking about in Champions Select, that means that the counter to it is the hard engage. So can AHQ find it as this could turn into a fight?
That's a high-value stopwatch right there as Ysera flashes but doesn't actually get out of the way. Rookie just deletes him. The Nautilus not doing anything in this fight as Rainbow looking for more. It's Alex that picks up the first kill. The Shy no longer able to participate, and IG have them where they want them. The poke is registering as Jackie Love gets over the wall. Ziv can't get in for the Gnar into the wall as Wako very low after the True Shot barrage, but is going to survive.
Yeah,
Definitely some head scratchers there. Invictus Gaming do brute force through the fight though, are now trying to siege onto the mid lane.
Yep, and more poke is coming out. The back is going to get fully channeled. Wako making his way back forward, but this is the just reward for IG. Taking down the inner turret just because the health bars are too low on AHQ.
Again, another skirmish. Ocean Drake on the side of Invictus Gaming. They can push down one more while throwing out more of this poke from Jace and Ezreal, forcing AHQ backwards.
And now it's going to be the next Drake, 2 minutes time, the Infernal Drake. If IG get that, it's going to be so difficult for AHQ to survive these poke battles. The siege is going to be too strong as we have a look at this moment yet again. Ysera, some interesting moves, but the stopwatch definitely good to start it off.
Yeah, and then there's kind of this questionable flash. He's trying to avoid the burst damage from Jackie Love, but unfortunately just gets blown up anyway. Now that said, it is a 1-for-1 trade on the back half because Alex some sweet moves with the Lee Sin to find the Shy out of position, but
yeah, I think it might have been a flash depth charge attempt, but vision was an issue. Have to have a look from his perspective in order to truly understand, but did certainly look funny, flashing for no reason after getting hit by a Mystic Shot.
Yeah, I mean, Invictus Gaming really putting on the pressure here. I have to say, though, if AHQ make a big play...
Now the Dredge Line going to come in, finds the R button this time, does Ysera, but Ziv, he's gotten forward. That Gnar bar pretty close to being full, but not quite able to get in there and really get the disruption that they were looking for. AHQ turn tail once again, and IG continue the pressure.
A huge issue that will happen for this game for both teams is kind of which way the vision is facing. Invictus Gaming's composition works really well even if they don't have control over an area, if they have vision of the area. Because obviously, fish in a barrel if AHQ are grouped up either on an Infernal, on a Baron, and then Invictus Gaming can just fling all of this poke at them. Whereas for AHQ, I actually think they're going to need to be really reliant on not front-to-back engages, but flanking engages. When you're against a team that can disengage so well as Invictus Gaming's comp, they need to get more creative about how they're forcing a 5v5 and how they're using these hard engage tools like the depth charge and the Mega Gnar.
Now that Infernal Drake is available, 15 seconds, and that one will be up. There are 2 points on the map that IG and AHQ need to be fighting around. Already Alex trying to get down there, does have himself a control ward so that they know what's happening, and Rainbow's making his way up the river. IG with control of mid, of course, taking the inner and outer turret. The AHQ don't want to give this one up. So much to fight for right now on the map for both teams.
It's also very difficult for them to face check into the Shock Blast, into the Gangplank barrel chains. Now, this is making it very easy for the Shy to line that up, and you can see the zoning.
The Dragon is free, and Ysera is as well. The Nautilus goes down, can't get out in time. And now IG with a man advantage and a Drake advantage up the wazoo are going to head towards this inhibitor turret in the mid lane.
And I love the word that you use there, Kobe, the zone control from Invictus Gaming's composition. If you ever squeeze AHQ in those tiny choke points that you just saw, they just get obliterated by all of the AoE and all of the poke.
Yeah, and Ziv couldn't even get an opportunity there as, like paper, the inhibitor turret goes down. Ziv trying to build that Gnar bar, does have it up, but they're not going to have their mid inhibitor at all for the next few minutes, and that will mean all of the Baron control over to IG.
All right, now Invictus Gaming do have a decent amount of standing gold on the bottom lane. Definitely think they will want to collect that straggling outer turret first, but then they can move right over to Baron, where they have plenty of control to continually force AHQ into those small corridors and into that bad situation.
I think the only scary point here is that Invictus Gaming need to make their resets before they set their map back up. So I actually think they're trying to stagger their backs so that AHQ can't just immediately run to the Baron, which is why you see a lot of pings happening around this objective right now, because that's what AHQ want to do. They say, as soon as Invictus Gaming back, they're going to be so strong because they just took so many towers onto our map. This is like our one window where we need to fight them, because on next buy, it's going to be that much harder.
Well, Rainbow, he's got a full energy bar. Look at Ziv, though. There is no Narbar here at all. The HQ top laner.
And the Shy is level 16 Gangplank with teleport ready. So he's been able to get his purchase off. And that
5 CS up, so out of nowhere.
That is a very big one that matters. We saw the barrel chain last time around. That was without the purchase. Now he's arrived with the teleport ready as well.
Yeah, the Shy got his buy-in, Jackulov used his TP, got his buy-in, so we were just talking about kind of that in-between item point for Invictus Gaming. They've now crested that, and things are looking that much more scary for AHQ. They need the perfect team fight for this to work.
Yep, having a look at a stopwatch check, it's only Alex on AHQ's side that has his available. Azonya's is completed for Leyan. He can play pretty far up and aggressively. Baolan also has the Zeke's Convergence completed, so just needs to pop that Unbreakable Will to make Jackulov all that more powerful. IG should have most of the tools available for locking down this Baron if Leyan doesn't take too much damage.
Oh no.
Baron's
still mad
at him. He really wanted that control ward, sacrifices half of his health bar for it.
They're going to start it.
Yeah, they are, but there's a ward still there. They don't actually see it. As Rainbow's up towards the top side, I believe they have vision available of Alex as well as Rookie's moving on over. Alex safeguards his way over. Sonic Wave there. As now Rookie will find him. We'll see whether he can dive on top, get him out of the way with that hammer shot. As there they have a bolt. Massive amounts of CC, and already 2 are dead. One of them being Ziv, who's so important for these fights. IG didn't want the Baron. They wanted to kill the entirety of AHQ, and Wako can't do anything about it. Jackie with the triple kill, 10 and 4 for IG, and they don't need no Baron. They're looking to win the game.
Yep, Invictus Gaming have done it. You could tell there was no plan on finishing it. It was turned the entire time. They immediately focus Alex, they take out the threat of stealing, and they get even more than they came for. Nexus turrets will be the next on the list.
Yep, this full minion wave with super creeps involved as well. There's no Baron buff because they don't need it. The Nexus turrets are an afterthought. The dives onto the fountain just for fun, but the Nexus will be taken down, and our 2018 World Champions will find their first win at Worlds in the group stage.
And it felt like a quiet game from Invictus Gaming until kind of the very end there when everything got very intense. You talked about it, the Shy kind of quietly creating this massive CS lead, this massive